Having sat through countless interviews and conducted a fair amount myself for junior SOC analyst positions, there is one question that comes up quite frequently, and that is, do you have a home lab? Now, this question isn't about making or breaking a candidate's chances. Instead, it helps us gauge their genuine interest in the field. A home lab shows curiosity, a willingness to learn, and hands-on initiative, which are all key traits for technical roles, especially like a SOC analyst. That said, let's be realistic. Not everyone can set up a home lab. You have hardware limitations or other constraints can make it quite challenging. But if you're serious about becoming a SOC analyst, the idea of building one should be high on your priority list. Now, if you don't already have a home lab, or maybe you're looking to build one that is specifically tailored for a SOC analyst, this video is for you. By the end, you'll walk away with a clear action plan to get started and customize your home lab for SOC-specific tasks. If this is your first time seeing my video, hello, my name is Steven, and I've been in the cybersecurity industry for over 8 years, focusing within the security operations domain. On this channel, you will find videos that touch on career guidance, SOC analyst lab walkthroughs, and projects that you can tackle to put onto your resume, so you can be in a better position to help you get started as a SOC analyst. With that being said, let's get started with what makes up a home lab. When it comes to defining a home lab, you'll find that everyone has their own interpretation. To me, a home lab can come in all shapes and sizes. It could be something simple or a complex setup with multiple components. The key here is having an environment where you can experiment without risking your personal computer or daily use devices. For example, a basic home lab might include 1 or 2 virtual machines running Windows or Linux connected within the same network. This setup allows you to explore and learn more about the operating systems in a safe environment. If you wanted to take it a step further, you can then add a server and install something like Active Directory. Over time, your home lab can become more complex, involving more components, tools, and configurations. The great thing about complexity is that it really forces you to troubleshoot and research, so you can get everything up and running smoothly. And trust me, the more troubleshooting and research that you do, the more valuable experience you gain, and then the better you'll be able to speak about that experience in interviews. So, how do you get started with a home lab? Lucky for you, if you don't already have a home lab, I do have a 3-part series video walking you through on how you can build a basic home lab. I will walk you through on how to download and configure VirtualBox, which will act as your hypervisor. And yes, you can use any hypervisor, but I chose VirtualBox as it is quite user-friendly. Afterwards, you'll learn how to download and install Windows 10 on a virtual machine. Learn how to install Sysmon, which will help collect detailed telemetry on your Windows endpoint, how to set up Kali Linux to act as our attacking machine, and finally, learn how to install and configure Splunk, which will be your SIM, Security Information and Event Management. By the end of the 3-part series, you will have a pretty sweet home lab that you can begin playing around in and learning more about the different logs that a Windows endpoint can generate. Anytime you feel lost or stuck, research more about the topic and try and learn as much as you possibly can. At the end, if you really can't figure it out, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be more than happy to help. Let's say you finished the 3-part series and you've been playing around with your lab for a couple of weeks. And now you want to make it more tailored to a SOC analyst lab. Well, I got you. To create a home lab that is more tailored for SOC analysts, you will need to incorporate tools that a SOC analyst is expected to know. For example, incorporate an intrusion detection system such as Snort or Suricata, and I do have videos on that which I'll link down below. You'll want to also incorporate a SIM, which you should already have if you follow the 3-part series. You'll want to try and create alerts and dashboards in the said SIM to get some experience. You'll want to incorporate an EDR, which is an endpoint detection and response tool, to help you generate telemetry so you can learn how that works. And integrating a SOAR platform, security, operation, automation, and response is a great idea, as many SOC environments have this. By installing all of these tools, you'll start to shift your home lab into a more SOC-specific lab. But do note that this will and can be quite complex, so do make sure you have some patience, as I am positive that you will run into some issues setting these up. Now, I do have some projects that you can follow along, such as the SOC automation project, SOAR EDR project, and the mini SOC project, aka the 30-day challenge on my channel. That can help you build a SOC Analyst Home Lab. Now, here is your action plan. I want you to begin creating a home lab if you haven't done so already. This doesn't need to be complicated, but if you have enough hardware resources, try installing 1 or 2 virtual machines. And if you want a guide, you can check out the 3-part series. Afterwards, play around with the lab and get comfortable with virtual machines. Then you can start thinking about tailoring your lab to be more SOC specific. Begin by installing a SIEM like Splunk, Elastic, or Wazaa to name a few, an IDS like Snort or Suricata, and an EDR like Wazaa, Elastic EDR, or Lima Charlie. And soon enough, your home lab will start to look like a SOC Analyst Home Lab, where you can begin to analyze telemetry, create alerts, and dashboards, which will allow you to level up pretty quickly when it comes to practical skills. And it will also provide you with something cool to talk about with hiring managers. That is it for the video, and I honestly hope you found that informative. If you did, let me know by hitting that like button, and subscribe if you want to. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.